Welcome to this video on Deep Dive into DPDP Act 2023. In this fifth part, we will explore the governance and compliance framework essential for your implementation journey. A robust governance and compliance framework is the bedrock of privacy. It transforms legal requirements into a structured operating model, ensuring your organization builds trust by design and remains resilient. This video explains how to build a practical compliance framework under the DPDP Act. It focuses on governance as the structure that turns legal duties into assigned roles, documented processes, controls, and evidence. By the end of this video, you will be able to define a DPDP governance structure, identify key compliance building blocks, and map these requirements to your unique business processes. You should be able to see privacy governance as a management system, rather than a single document. The emphasis is on repeatability, accountability, and readiness for regulatory or internal scrutiny. Remember, compliance fails without clear ownership. You must define roles and decision rights to ensure governance connects legal, business, and technical teams effectively. Most compliance breakdowns happen not because the law is unknown, but because no one clearly owns implementation. Governance solves this by assigning responsibility, escalation, approval, and review across the organization. A comprehensive DPDP framework includes 4 pillars: governance structure, robust policies, thorough data mapping, and built-in controls for privacy lifecycle activities. You should understand that compliance is not a single control, but a connected set of structures and workflows. Next, we will go through each of the pillars in detail. Assigning clear roles and accountability across legal, IT, HR, and operations is vital. This ensures that every function understands its responsibility in the broader privacy ecosystem. Every framework needs named owners and clear accountability. Even where no formal DPO is required, organizations still need someone or some function to coordinate privacy governance and decision-making. Turn your legal obligations into documented rules. Clear policies and defined procedures regarding notice, consent, and grievance handling are essential for consistent compliance. Policies provide direction, but procedures make compliance real. A mature framework should translate legal obligations into usable workflows, templates, approval rules, and operational checklists. You cannot protect what you do not know. Building a detailed data inventory and mapping your data flows is the foundation for linking data to its purpose, legal basis, and retention period. Without a data inventory, most other parts of the framework become weak. Rights handling, breach analysis, retention enforcement, and processor oversight all depend on understanding where personal data exists and how it moves. Integrate controls into daily processing. From consent management to breach response workflows, these built-in controls protect individuals and strengthen your accountability. This ties governance to day-to-day processing. You should see that the framework must shape real user journeys, internal workflows, vendor management, and incident handling, rather than sitting separately as a governance layer. Outsourcing does not remove your accountability. Data fiduciaries remain responsible, so ensure your contracts with processors are robust and that you maintain ongoing vendor oversight. Many privacy failures happen through third parties. A compliance framework should therefore include vendor due diligence, contractual controls, deletion commitments, and oversight of outsourced processing activities. Your people must know what to do. Implement role-based training to ensure every employee understands their specific privacy responsibilities and how to handle potential incidents. Frameworks fail when staff do not understand how privacy duties apply to their role. Training should therefore be role-specific and repeated often enough to remain useful as processes and obligations evolve. Measure whether your framework works. Maintaining accurate logs, tracking grievances, and reviewing controls regularly allows you to identify gaps and continuously improve your posture. Monitoring makes compliance observable. It allows the organization to prove that controls exist, detect where they are failing, and show that corrective actions are being taken. For higher-risk entities, called as significant data fiduciaries, enhanced governance is required. This includes appointing a data protection officer based in India, conducting independent audits, and performing thorough data protection impact assessments. This should explain that not every organization will have the same governance burden. Significant data fiduciaries are expected to operate with a more formal and auditable compliance structure because of the risk and scale associated with their processing. Finally, governance must reach the top. Senior leadership commitment is crucial for ensuring privacy is embedded in your organization's strategy and culture. Privacy governance is stronger when leadership receives meaningful reporting and drives remediation. This is particularly important for higher-risk organizations, where privacy issues can become operational, reputational, and regulatory events. Avoid the common pitfalls that cause frameworks to break down. By defining clear ownership, mapping your data, and maintaining rigorous documentation, you build a strong foundation for trust. These gaps are often more dangerous than absence of a formal policy because they create false confidence. A framework should be judged by whether it works in practice, not just whether documents exist. Let's review a scenario involving a growing digital platform. They face gaps like missing data mappings and undefined incident paths, which represent immediate operational and compliance risks. You can pause the video here and work on this scenario for hands-on experience. This exercise helps you separate visible compliance artifacts from actual governance maturity. It also shows how scale and risk can quickly expose weaknesses in ownership, inventory, and escalation processes. To address these gaps, organizations should prioritize establishing clear governance roles, mapping data flows, and implementing structured policies for retention and incident response. When scaling your privacy program, follow this 5-step approach. Define your use cases, assign owners, map your policies, integrate monitoring, and prioritize remediation actions. In this activity, you can work with a sample organization, such as an edtech platform, HR services company, fintech app, or retail business. You should produce a governance framework map showing ownership, controls, records, reporting lines, and improvement priorities. For further learning, a detailed guide with practical examples is available on the DPDPA Mentor website. This resource helps teams in building a governance and compliance framework under the DPDPA. This guide is based on the steps provided in the previous slide, and various examples are provided for better understanding and practical usage. Remember that privacy is not a one-time project. It requires continuous monitoring, a risk-based approach, and a commitment to refining your controls to maintain trust as your business grows. The central message is that DPDP compliance depends on structure and evidence. Organizations that define ownership, map data, operationalize controls, train teams, and review their program regularly are more likely to meet both legal and business expectations. If you are interested in trying out the DPDP Act provisions, you can use the Consent Manager simulation portal at myconsentmanager.co.in to test your integrations as a data fiduciary or data principal. We recommend the Kelpie Quiz app, available on the Google Play Store, to test your knowledge of cybersecurity, the DPDP Act, and other important topics. The app offers various levels of difficulty and interactive assessments to improve your awareness. Thank you for watching this video relating to Deep Dive into DPDP Act 2023. Hope you now know more about governance and compliance framework under the Act. This was the 41st video in this series, released by dpdpamentor.in. Please visit our YouTube channel, DPDPA Mentor, as well as our website, dpdpamentor.in, regularly to check out other informative resources. Wishing you a successful DPDP Act implementation.